Welcome to the Boardroom was my peak education program, which I have run for nearly 15 plus years now. We have run events all around the country, and over 10,000 students, aspiring and current board directors, have been through the program. I believe it's now time to revisit that program and the content, because the time is now for aspiring and current board directors to step up. There is an absolute call for the next generation of board director leaders to take their rightful place in the boardrooms around our country. Never before has business and not-for-profits and government boards, every type of organisation from small to large, they are requiring the very, very best of the best to serve in the boardrooms. And so this program is designed to really refresh the content, to put a new spin on things, bring things up to date with the current paradigm, what is truly going on in the board search market. And of course, remember, I'm the CEO and the founder of Tiger Boards, a leading board search practice. And we are seeing at the coalface, if you like, what clients are asking for from their board of directors. We're looking at candidates on a daily, weekly basis. We're shortlisting all the time top talent for organisations. And throughout this process, we come across, the best of the best and people who maybe aren't quite getting things right. And even if you are a student of mine, I would encourage you to revisit this series, the Welcome to the Boardroom interactive online video series, because I think there'll be little gems of information, because I'm going to literally share with you all of my secrets and knowledge of what it requires to step up and to serve in the boards and to secure board appointments and to go on to develop a board portfolio. And increasingly, that's what we are seeing people aspiring to do in the market. So, this series is really designed to be interactive. So I'm going to give you a number of exercises to complete at the end of each video. And I encourage you to take the time to do the self-reflection, because the candidates, in my opinion, who come across my desk, who have that clear sense of their unique value proposition, a clear understanding of what boards are looking for, they're the people who really are standing out, and they've done the hard yards, they've done the pre-thinking. There are still a few people who get on the phones and literally want to treat a meeting with me like a sort of an information session and go through the very basics. But really, as an aspiring board director and as a next generation board director, you're going to have that information down pat beforehand. So this program is really well designed to aspiring board directors who want to secure their first or their second board seat. It's also equally valuable for experienced board directors who maybe have tried a few things and are finding it quite challenging in the market to secure board opportunities, because the reality is it's become increasingly competitive. I'm going to give you clear strategies, tips, and very practical tools for success. And that's going to enable you to be board ready to secure board appointments, and it's going to arm you with the correct information. Now, Tiger Boards is my exclusive boutique board search practice. We're operating across the country and, in fact, across Asia Pacific, and we are mandated to find the best of the best for aspiring organisations, up-and-coming organisations, so early stage, high potential companies, right through to private equity, venture capital-backed technology businesses, all the way through to the ASX. And of course, we've always focused on the not-for-profit sector because we know how important it is to bring top talent to the table. And we've always supported government boards as well through that complex recruitment process. So this is really setting the scene, if you like, for what we're going to cover in the next number of videos. There's going to be about 10 videos in the series. Now, I just want to bring you up to speed with the current paradigm. So I've been in board recruitment, as I said, for 15 plus years, nearly 20 years, 2 decades of recruiting at the very top end of the market. And I've got to be honest with you, I have never, ever seen it like this. We are heading into a very different era in the boardroom. First and foremost, companies are crying out for leadership. And if you like the old guard who've been through maybe the old school training, some of them just aren't stepping up to the mark. They're not dealing with the disruption, the rapid change, the rapid nature of technology advancements. They're being caught flat-footed, whether it be on cybersecurity matters and certainly on artificial intelligence matters. And we're finding increasingly with the briefs from the clients that they're coming to us with a much more pragmatic sense of what they're looking for. They're looking for people who can genuinely help grow the business, navigate the business through sometimes very complex business challenges and problems. And they're looking for all-rounders, but at the same time, they're looking for specialists. So the briefs now become very, very specific. And so, it's a no-brainer that we're looking for educated professional board directors to come into the boardroom. And they will look for people who have very strong skills around business strategy and risk management, and then there might be some specialties put into the brief. And that could include everything from human resources to technology to artificial intelligence, ESG, cybersecurity matters, and so on. So the briefs are really getting tight. At the same time, the talent pool has exploded, and I don't mean that the quality of the talent pool has exploded. The reality is there's just a lot more people in the boardroom wanting to serve in boardrooms, a lot more people wanting to secure this kind of work. We've got a lot more people coming to the table earlier in their corporate lives, in their corporate careers. And so what that has created is a lot of noise in the market. And the reality is that when you look at a talent pool, there's only about 10% of that talent pool that you really want to be talking to. But the reality is at the moment that through the noise, and because there are a lot of people applying for roles, there's a lot more people looking for this kind of work, what can happen is that top 10% can get missed and overlooked in the process. And so what it means as an aspiring or a current board director is you must have your strategy right. You cannot afford to waste a year of your life doing all the wrong things and then realizing, oh, well, you should have been doing this or you should have been doing that. And it really does mean that you have to really separate from a lot of that noise in the market. And I'll be frank, separate from the amateurs in the market. So there's going to be this huge demarcation between amateurs and professionals. And people who want to genuinely serve in the boardroom, have the skills, the qualifications, and the experience to serve in the boardroom, and are really willing to step up and take this role very, very seriously. Because remember, at all times, serving in the boardroom is the highest honour. It is the pinnacle of a successful corporate career. You are serving at the highest level of the organisation, and you are responsible for the fiduciary health of that business, the legal responsibilities, the financial responsibilities, the human capital responsibilities, the technology responsibility. So, if there's a cybersecurity attack, on your watch, potentially you are responsible for all of these things from a legal perspective. And so, there's not a lot of room in the market for amateur hour. There's not a lot of room for people who want to do this as a bit of a gravy train exercise. And there is still a little cohort of people who are in it for the money. And I've got to be honest, they do come across my desk. And you can see that all they're focused on is the board fees. And the reality is that if you are successful in this space, the remuneration and the rewards are there. But if that's your primary motivation for wanting to go into the boardroom, then you're going to have some challenges in the long term. Because the reality is that board work is serious, hard, professional. It can take a lot out of you. It's not a set and forget type scenario. You are responsible for that health and well-being of that organisation and all of its constituents. It is very rewarding work. It is very interesting work, and it's part of the reason why I personally have advanced myself to another level and another level in terms of my governance knowledge, my legal knowledge, just being right across the paradigm. And of course, I'm learning every day, because as an aspiring next generation board director, you cannot afford to set and forget. And there is, again, a bit of an old guard who maybe did a company director course 10 plus years ago, but, they would be hard pressed to tell you what the current legislation is on cybersecurity issues or ESG matters, or what would happen if XYZ scenario took place in their business. There is a lot of legislative change. Directors are increasingly on the hook. That doesn't mean you've got to be frightened about that concept, but you do need to be across the brief. And that's my main message to you here as you're thinking about building your board portfolio, securing board appointments, is if you're going to do this work, you want to be a professional. You want to be in the top 10%. You want to, apply every aspect of your life, your business knowledge, your experience to make sure that you are one of the very best possible directors that you can be. And you're adding that value in the boardroom settings, and you're navigating businesses through potentially very, very challenging times. There's no glamour in this work. I think there are still some people, maybe with the rose-coloured glasses, who think it's going to be glamorous, but unfortunately it's not. It's hard work, but it is rewarding, challenging, work, and it's a great pinnacle to a successful corporate career. Now, Tiger Boards is really sort of trying to challenge the mandate, challenge the nature of even the board search industry. We're trying to do things differently. You'll find that we're more willing to take a meeting with an aspiring board director. We're more willing to be a champion for you in the recruitment process to get you in the door, to secure those initial, stepping stone board seats. We work a lot with clients where a board member who maybe is starting out could earn their stripes and to build up that quality board experience. And at the other end of the spectrum, we're working with private equity, we're working with venture capitalists, we're working with family office, and of course those organisations, we cannot afford to get it wrong, and so we're looking for the best of the best to serve in those very complex and challenging business environments where results are critical. You can't afford to get things wrong. So I would really like you just to start this process, immerse yourself in the videos, stop and start, make some notes, get yourself a little booklet, fill it in. And the first exercise I want to impart with you is I really want you to think about what is your reason for wanting to pursue board roles. What are your motivations? What are you hoping to gain from this exercise? What are you hoping to gain from the board seats? Now, it's perfectly okay to be frank with yourself, and earning additional income in the long term or creating a pathway for semi-retirement, that's perfectly valid. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with being honest with yourself about that criteria. But I think you also want to think big picture wise. What do you hope to achieve? What are you looking to gain from serving in boardrooms? What type of experiences are you looking for? And of course, what type of organizations will align with those goals? So for me personally, I'm an angel investor. I love the business community, the startup business community. I like trying to help them raise capital. I like pre-revenue businesses and helping them get off the ground, because often these businesses are solving really complex business challenges. So for me personally, I would be motivated to help businesses, really grow, crack through, get that first big contract, get that watershed account, secure the first, Series A funding, get the seed capital in the door, whatever the requirements are to get those businesses off the ground. And so that's what motivates me. They're the types of organisations that I would love to be involved with. On the other side, I am a servant leader through and through, and I love to give back, and particularly in the not-for-profit sector where I know there's a lot of challenges, that's also a place where I love to play. So, over the years, I have served in not-for-profit organisations organisations. You can't do them all, but from time to time I'll serve as a board director in those organisations, or I'll join a committee of an organisation that I love. So having this clarity is really important up front. So as part of your exercise, I want you to really start to think about what are your motivations, where can you add the value potentially, what would you bring to the table, and of course what organisations would potentially align with that.